a low self-esteem, then your creativity won't be that very good. But if you believe yourself, if you're proud of yourself, if you're happy about yourself, it's going to influence your creativity as well. It says creativity is used all the time. And he gave some examples. For example, you're going to work and you're in a traffic, and you have to be early in your office. The first thing that comes in your mind is to think of a route to take which has less traffic. So that is also creativity. Like you think like, okay, which way should I take so as to go to reach early to my office? Or for example, you woke up early in the morning and you're thinking of, okay, which trouser should I put on? Which dress, which socks, which shoes, or which clothes should I put on so as to match and to be presentable in front of people? All that is creativity. So creativity is not something like for you to be very imaginative and come up with a very scientific formula of things which have never happened on earth. No, creativity is made up of small things which we do them every day. So we move on to the first subtopic. It says your beliefs become your reality. So what you believe will come to existence. So you have to be very positive in what you're believing in. Most people don't think that they are creative. Most people think like, I'm not creative just because I did not create a formula of chemistry to come up with, I don't know, of detergents, or I did not come up with a chemical bond of something. No, you have to think of yourself in a way that I'm creative because I took a certain route to work today with less traffic. I wore a shirt and a skirt which matched very well, and I was presentable in the office. That is creativity. So the small things you think every day, they make you creative. So you have to think yourself as a creative person. You don't have to be afraid, like I've not drawn a picture of, I don't know, of an art piece or something which has never existed, so I'm not creative. Simply because they cannot paint an artwork, creativity is simply, okay, so most people, they think that I'm not creative just because I did not paint an artwork, which is not true. He says creativity is simply improvement. Improving the way of doing things equals to creativity. So the moment you improve something about doing that thing you usually do, that is creativity. The moment you improve the way you used to talk to your customers, that is creativity. The moment you improve the way things have been arranged in your room or in your dressing table, that is creativity. So creativity is improving the way of doing things. It's like you create creative ideas for your business. And that is why this subtopic is saying your belief becomes your reality. So if you believe you're creative, you create more creative ideas. But if you think you're not creative, then there is no way you're going to be creative. And when you move to the next subtopic, it says there are 3 ways of stimulating creativity. So we are all creative, but there is a way we have to stimulate the way we become, like if we want to be more creative, we have to stimulate it. And he gave us like 3 ways how we can stimulate our creativity. And he says it has to be clear goals, pressing problems, and focused questions. He has mentioned, as you can see there, and he says the more intensely you desire to achieve a clear, specific goal, the more creative you will be in finding ways of accomplishing it. So for you to be more creative or to stimulate your creativity, you should have clear goals. Like clear goals or like, okay, how much you want to sell the untamed products. If you're not clear of how many products you want to sell, there is no way your brain will give you ideas. but also it has to be a pressing problem you want to solve. What to come up with? The more bigger the problem, the more you'll be stimulated to come up with ways to solve that problem. It can be in your cells, it can be in your office, it can be anywhere. But also you have to create some focused questions. The more focused and specific the questions that you ask yourself or that others ask you, the more innovative you will be in the developing answers. So you should also speak to yourself in form of questions. Ask yourself hard questions. How am I going to sell 10 lipsticks this week? How am I going to set of skincare this week? So they just don't, they're not random questions or generalized questions. No, they have to be specific. They have to be focused in one thing, so that once you ask yourself, your brain will come up with things, how you can tackle the problem and how you can come up with solutions of solving the particular problem you want to solve. So if you do that, that will also stimulate your creativity. And when you go to the other subtopic, it says practice thinking creatively. So to be more creative, it's a matter of practice. Everything comes with practice. They say practice makes perfect. So the more you think creatively, the more you're going to be creative on whatever you're doing. There are areas where you can exercise and practice. The more creative you become in these areas, the more matter is in prospecting. And your success in prospecting gradually depends on your income. How we find prospect is limited by your imagination. So what do you think about prospecting to begin with? And what is limiting you the prospecting at large? Is there something like you're scared of talking to people? When you hear of prospecting, what comes in your mind? That is the kind of thing is trying to pause. What is limiting your imagination? Are you scared, like if I speak to him or if I speak to her, he's going to reject? Like you have already created some answers in your mind of that prospect before even meeting him. So the first thing is you shouldn't limit your imagination when it comes to prospecting. Just be positive, like I'm going to speak to this prospect and I'll get the best results, I'll get the best answers from him, and that is it, and that is what it will be. You shouldn't limit yourself. And the other thing on practicing your thinking creatively, you should uncover the buying motives of your customers. Find what the customer needs. So this will also sharpen your creativity in your mind. Like before you face that customer, or when you're speaking to the prospect at that time, in your mind, start thinking like, what does this prospect want from my products? What does this customer want from my service? He says prospects have resistance to buying approaches, and they don't want you to know what their need is to avoid buying. So when you're approaching somebody to tell to tell him or her about your 10 products, he or she will try to hide the motive. Like she will not be very open on the needs of why she wants those products. No, they'll try to hide it. So it's our duty as salespeople to find what the customer needs. So as you speak to them, try to pick some main points that will help you figure out the need of this prospect or the need of this customer. And once you have figured out the need of the customer, you make a sale 100%. And he says this is a real test of your intelligence and brain power. So the moment you find out or you uncover the need of the customer, there is where your brain power lies. So the more you practice or the more you rehearse on trying to figure out what this customer needs, the more you become creative. and he continues to discover new product uses. So here is basically, as sales people, we should try to know our products, try to discover new uses of our products, or the new benefits. He says your creativity is essential in discovering new product uses and application. Yes, we all have the same products which are provided by the company, the skincare, lipstick, maybe fragrance, yes, and the foundation. But do we know all the uses of these fragrances, or do we know how the different ways of applying the fragrances? So we have to think, we have to be more creative. Okay, we have the fragrance, yes, but in what ways can this fragrance be used? What applications, more applications or areas to apply can be, can you come up to advise your customer? Or how can you advise your customer to use a lipstick in different ways to come up with a combination which is presentable? So this is how also to increase your creative ideas, as in you have to be creative on ways of using the products, on ways of applying the products. It says your ability to use your creativity to overcome buyer's resistance and answer objections is essential to your success. Finally, your ability to close the sale and get the customer to take action is critical in determining how much you sell and how much you earn. So from discovering new product uses, he also says you should know what you're talking about. Know your product, know your service inside out. If you must read, study, and memorize your information, let them be on your fingertips. When you go to your customer, when it comes to skincare, you just know the things you have to speak, write, and write on time. Like it has to be in your mind. If somebody comes early in the morning and wakes you up, please tell me about the skincare products. You just go like, they're in your fingertips. So know you're also, something else on knowing what you're talking about, you should know what your competitors are doing and become an expert in the market. We have competitors. In every business has competitors. You cannot avoid that. But in order to win the market, in order to compete with your competitors or with your competitors, you have to be familiar with what you're selling. It says become excellent at prospecting. The fastest way to increase your income is to be successful in selling. There are so many ways you can come up with income. Like you can, okay, you're employed, you're paid salaries and all that, but there is only one way which can bring in money more than any other way, and that is selling. He says spend more time with better prospects so as to know them very well, because in order to know what the prospect wants, you have to spend time with them. It has to be quality time. And so you have to spend more time to know them and to become excellent at prospecting. Like don't go there like for 2 minutes, you vomit everything out and you want to run away. No, just take your time, listen to the prospect very well so as to be familiar with what people want in the market. And this will increase your creativity in prospecting. He says creative prospecting is essential and begins with thorough planning and analysis. So before you start the prospecting activities, you have to plan and you have to analyze. And how you plan and analyze, you have to ask yourself the 3 important questions. And he has mentioned the questions, as you can see. The first one, he says, what are the 5 to 10 most attractive features of your product? So before you go to prospect somebody, you should have the answer to this one. What are the attractive features of your product? What are the attractive features of our lipstick, of our skincare products? So that when you go to the prospect, you just mention them just like that without thinking for a long time. That is the first question. He says, do you know your product most attractive features? List them in order of importance. Why should somebody buy your product at all? Why should somebody buy your product from your company? Why should somebody buy your product from you? You must be able to answer these questions clearly in your own mind before you get face to face with the customer. So this you can also practice in front of a mirror. If you have that long dressing table mirror, you can just stand before the mirror, ask yourself those questions and reply. The more you practice that in front of the mirror, when you go to talk to your prospect, you have the answers in your mind. They'll just be in your subconscious mind, so they'll just come out at ease. The other question you have to ask yourself is, what specific needs of your prospective customer does your product satisfy? What needs of the customer are met by your products? What benefits does your customer get from your service or from our products? What benefits does it offer? In other words, what is in it for the customer to purchase your product rather than someone else's product or one's product? So this, you can basically generate them from the features, as in you can, like from the other book we read, it was Sell Like Crazy. We were told to write features on one column and the benefits on the other column. So if you created something like that, then you know the benefits. So when you meet the prospect, you actually now try to figure out of all the features that I listed, out of all the benefits, which one is particular for this one. Maybe she has a bad skin, if she has acne or rashes or pigmentation, you exactly know the need of that prospect at that time. This is what the question is trying to tell us. The third question is, what does your company offer that other companies do not offer? What is your unique selling proposition? What is your company's or product area of excellence? In what ways is your company product or service superior to anything else available in your market? The greatest clarity you have with regard to these answers, the more creative you'll be in finding better prospects and making more sales to those prospects. Okay, so for this one, you have to know the difference between what you have and what your competitor is offering. There are hundreds of beauty products in the market, and they are all organic. But why should somebody buy the Untamed skincare and not maybe the Avon or some other companies? Why our products? So there are specific features or benefits or something you can come up with from the ingredients that is so unique in our products. That is something you have to know very well, so that if the prospect challenges you, at least you know where to start with. He then proceeds to 4 keys to strategic selling. He says there are 4 keys to strategic selling that you must master if you want to join the top 10% of money earners in your field. The 4 keys are specialization, differentiation, segmentation, and concentration. The first key is specialization. This is all about being unique. You can't sell everything. You can sell to everybody. You can sell in every area. You have to be specific. Like, you have to know like what people you want to sell to. You have to know like what product in your industry you want to deal with. We have a lot of products in the Untamed, and there are more to come. But from cosmetics to fragrance and skincare, where do you want to specialize in? He says you may specialize in a particular result or benefit. You can specialize in a particular customer or market. So you can decide, like, I'll deal with female customers, or I'll deal with male customers, or I'll be selling in maybe Nigeria only. I won't sell out of Nigeria. But you must be specialist rather than a generalist. You can sell to everybody. You can sell to You can sell to in every area very well. It says area by specializing in a particular industry, a specific type of customer, or a distinct geographical area. How could this apply to you? I think this is applicable. You can just decide, like, I want to do with female 35 years to 50 years, or I want to deal with young female, maybe 25 to 30 to 35, and I'll base more in cosmetics because that is the age they like those kind of things. The other key to strategic selling is set yourself apart and differentiate. He says, what special benefits does your product offer to your customers that are not available anywhere? What sets you apart? What makes you unique in the market? There are hundreds of beauty products in the market, but what makes you unique personally? There is only one person like you in the whole world. Most sales are made on the basis of feeling that the customer has about the salesperson more than any other factor. So we have to try to be unique. You cannot be like Diana Rose, you cannot be like Rosemary, you cannot be like Sis Omomi. You just have your way of selling, which is so unique to you. So also in selling, try to come up with your unique way. Your unique way could be maybe greeting your prospect in a certain way, which is different from the greetings every other person is doing in the market. So, or maybe you can differentiate yourself, maybe the way you deliver your products, you can differentiate on the way you package your things or some things like that. That is the way you can set yourself apart, and it can be your brand in the market. When people see a certain package, they know this is Rosemary's products. When they see a certain kind of greeting, oh, they know this style belongs to somebody. The other key to strategic selling is sort out your market by segmentation. In order to determine exactly which customers can most benefit from what you do better than anyone else. Okay? The third part of strategic selling is segmentation. Once you have determined your area of specialization and what it is that differentiates your product from your competitors, your next goal is to determine exactly which customers can most benefit from what you do better than anyone else. For example, you have specialized in skincare products. You cannot sell skincare products to everybody. You should also put now in groups like which people need my skincare products the most. Is it all females, or is it ladies from maybe 30 to 40, or is it 40 to 50? You have to group them so as to be more focused to those people. He says, where can you find more of this ideal type of person, organization for your product? Think of running an ad for perfect customers. So when you come up with the segment or with a group of people you want to specialize or to focus on, it also becomes the way we saw in the other book. When it comes to creating your ad, you have to have in mind the person you're targeting or the prospect you are targeting. So this is all about putting in segment or the segmentation that you want to focus on. After you have specialized, you have differentiated and segmented, the last key point on strategic selling is focus and concentrate. It is your ability to set clear priorities and then to concentrate single-mindedly on only those prospects who represent the very best potential as customers. So focusing and concentrating helps you to save time. You won't go around trying to sell to everybody. You already know the group of people you want to sell to. So when you're working in offices, you'll focus on a lady who is 40 years. When you meet a person who is 18 years, you won't be bothered because you know, this is not the person I'm looking for. He also says, once you've identified your group, you've identified your customers, concentrate all your energy on that segment. He gave an example of a salesperson who attended one of his seminar, and he applied these four keys to strategic selling. And this person wrote back as a testimony that when he applied these keys, the sales went up. Like, he concentrated all her energy on those potential customers. He just didn't sell to everybody. He did not go out and prospect everybody. He focused on the 20% who will bring in 80% of sales. That is what the point is talking about. Like, you have to focus on those people that will bring in the 80% of sales. The rule we saw, the 80-20 rule. So put your energy on the fewer people that will bring in more sales. He says, what customers or markets could be capable of buying enormous quantities of what you sell? Where are they and how can you approach them? So it is our job to figure out, like, who are the people able to buy our fragrances? Who are the people capable of buying our skincare products? Once we have known those people, like we know they're in a certain area or they have certain characteristics, then we spend all our energy, we spend all our money in investing in ads that will reach those people. So those were the four points which we have to practice so as to increase our sales. He says the other subtopic is talking about conduct intensive market analysis, so as to come with these people, or the people, the 20% population will bring the 80% sales. You have to do a market analysis. He says you can use your creativity to identify your biggest and best sales opportunities. This requires the regular and repeated use of focused questions like this. So he generated like a research questionnaire. Let me say questionnaire. These questions which will guide you to come up with that group of people, the 20% who are able to buy your product and bring in more returns. The first question, he says, who exactly is your customer? Make list of all the qualities and characteristics that your ideal customer would have. So this now will start from the demographic data, as in the name, the age, education, occupation, income level. Those things will help you to know who is your ideal customer so that you will not be selling to everybody. The greater clarity you have in identifying your ideal customer, the easier it will be for you to find more of these customers to talk to. We saw this on the other book, Sell Like Crazy, so this is repetition now. The other question is, who buys your product or service right now? We saw the other pyramid. I don't remember the name of the pyramid, but there were that 3% who were ready to buy at that time, and there were other 97, yeah, and there were other 97% who were to be taught and convinced and all that. So here we are talking of the 3%. Who are those 3%? Who are the people who are ready to buy right on time? He says apply the 80-20 rule. Who are the 20% of your customers who represent 80% of your business? What do they have in common? How could you find more customers just like the very best customer you serve today? And also, who will be your future customers? Now here we are going to down the pyramid, the other 97%. Those people who are not in the mode of buying, but in the future they'll buy. So you also have to think of those people. Who are the people who will be buying your products in the future, 5 years to come? Like based on the trends, like you have to know 5 years to come who will be buying my skincare products, 5 years to come who will be buying the fragrances. The other question you have to ask yourself to do a market analysis is, what are the trends in your business and in your market? What changes are taking place that may force you to change the way you sell or the people who you sell? In what direction is your market moving? For example, currently the world is going online. Everything is being digitalized. Is your business digitalized? Have you shifted from offline selling to online selling? Are you trying to get skills on doing the online selling and the online everything? Because there is where the world is going. So 10 years to come, people won't be going in shops maybe. They'll just be ordering via the website and all that. But are we trained enough to be on those platforms in 10 years to come? The other question to ask yourself is, what new markets might there be for your product or service? Who else could benefit from your area of specialization and differentiation that you have not yet reached? Okay, something else to ask yourself is, why does your customer buy? You have to know why this person is buying from you. You should know the advantages and the benefits the customer will gain from purchasing your product, because this is what will motivate your customer to buy. What are the benefits the customer will get after buying your products? And why does your customer, okay, this one says, what part of your product or service does your customer most appreciate and compliment? What part of your product or what benefits in your skincare products is the customer more appreciative of, or the compliments coming back to you about the products? What part of that product brings in most of the compliments? Because once you know this, you have the hot button. The moment you go to the other customer and other prospects, you know where to start from. The other question to ask yourself is, who or what is your competitor? What benefits do your prospective customers see in buying from your competitors? You should know your competitor very well to know what they are offering so as to improve yourself. Because when you know your competitor, like, okay, you have a certain company X selling skincare products, you should know their products, and also you should know their setbacks, because their setbacks will help you improve the way you market your products. Like, what benefit is in your product that is not in their product? That is the hot button to get more sales compared to your competitors. But also, you should also know, why should people buy from you and not your competitors? What are you offering extra? What benefits, what other benefits are found in your products compared to your competitors? That is also something you have to know very well. He gave an example of Apple versus Microsoft, and he says Apple came first, but with time, Microsoft took over. And what Microsoft tried to do is they created the computers, yes, and the softwares, but they also allowed other companies to come up with programs and softwares, but also they lowered their prices. They charged lower amount of services they provided compared to Apple. And at the end of the day, Apple offered the best. Yes, they say, oh, Apple products, computers and phones are the best, but they were very expensive at that time, and up to now they're expensive. So Microsoft took it as a setback, so as to win the market. Let me create the same product, but let me lower the prices. I'll get maybe a less amount of money from a single selling, but if I sell to many people, the volume will be high. So what Microsoft focused, they focused on the volume of sales, the number of people who will be buying, as in when many people buy from you, even if it's a small amount of profit you're making, at the end of the day, you're creating a lot of money compared to that person who is trying to collect a huge profit from a single sale. So this is what Microsoft did versus Apple. So that was an example he gave on competitors and what to do so as to protect the market.
All right. I think that might be where we would need to stop today. Yeah, so that we can jump on Susan's call. We just only have one more minute. There's an exercise I want us to do as Irene has taken us through all of this, and I want to appreciate your time, Irene. Thank you so much, for reviewing this for us. So sorry to have to cut you short, but I want us to attend Susan's call. So let's these things are not new. Just like Irene has mentioned, we've learned it from other books. We've heard it on trainings, right? That's on team that done for us. Those of us that attended those trainings, that were done for us, we've heard them. Who are your ideal customers? Define them, the age, the demographics, and all of that. So if we are yet to do that, that is an homework for us. Let's take that today, and let's work on it. Who is your ideal customer? Who are you talking to? Who your prospect? What is their income level? When you know your prospect, then issue of that person said it's too expensive will not come into play, because the caliber of people that uses your product, and those are the people you'll be talking to in the first place, right? So a lot of things to learn from this. It's loaded. I love the way he wrote it in chunks and subheadings, and it helps you to concentrate on whichever part you want to concentrate on. So let's take this as a takeaway, and to continue to get better at selling. It's amazing. It's a really good book. Let's make sure we go over it. Like I said, I think I've shared the YouTube a link for us to listen to it as you doing your day-to-day. Just listen, as you go by your day, and take the time to take note and exercise whatever we have learned. So I want to appreciate your time today for coming. Thank you so much. So as we are here now, let's head on to Susan's call. All right. See you next week. God bless you. Thank you so much, Irene.
Thank you.
That was beautiful. Thank you. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Everyone is quiet with me today. I'll see you next week.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye, Diana. Bye, everyone.
Bye. Okay.